Number 10. Tornado Alley on the move. One of the most infamous and frightening natural occurrences in the United States of America is Tornado Alley. It is the top area in the U.S. for tornadoes. According to a report from USA Today, an average of around 40 people die from tornadoes every year in the 9 southeastern states that comprise Tornado Alley. Out of all of these states, Alabama has the highest death toll, with an average every year of about 14. As for just how many deadly tornadoes the U.S. experiences every year, according to the National Severe Storms Laboratory, it's about 1,200. Not all of these storms cause death, but they are definitely worrisome. But get ready to be even more worried. According to a new study investigating the future trends of tornadoes in the United States, it seems that Tornado Alley is on the move. There is a trend happening that shows tornado frequency increasing throughout Mississippi, Alabama, Arkansas, Tennessee, Kentucky, Illinois, and even Indiana in the coming years. This could have devastating consequences because the Mid-South region of the United States is filled with mobile homes, expanding populations, and they don't have the experience needed to survive an increase in storms. In the coming years, we could see Tornado Alley sweep north and east, destroying everything in its path. Number 9. The everlasting storm. Nature is a terrifying thing, and one of the most frightening and beautiful events in all of nature has to be a lightning storm. And while we've all seen lightning at one point in time or another, you've never seen lightning like the everlasting storm going on in Venezuela. There is a lake in the country where thousands of lightning strikes occur every single hour, roughly 28 times a minute. This happens where the Catatumbo River meets Lake Maracaibo. In this very spot, there are about 260 lightning storms each year, with each storm lasting for around 9 hours. It may not actually be everlasting, but it might as well be. This place is recognized in the Guinness Book of World Records for having the highest concentration of lightning ever, with the most spectacular lightning storms happening around October. But what causes such dramatic storms? And can a person survive a visit to this place? According to the report from the BBC, scientists believe that the conductivity of the air over the lake is because of a vast field of methane below. The theory hasn't been proved, but it is highly probable. As for whether you could survive the devastation of this place, you would be fine as long as you didn't bring a lightning rod with you, and if you were completely coated in rubber. Number 8. Underwater waterfall. There is a small island nation called Mauritius, located in the middle of the Indian Ocean, about 1,200 miles or 1,931 kilometers from the continent of Africa. And while this small island has some mysteries of its own, with a long history of colonization, it has a natural phenomenon that is one of the most dangerous and yet most fascinating in the world. It's also something you've probably never seen before. It's commonly known as an underwater waterfall, and when viewed from above, it appears as though the sea around the island is flowing into itself, or almost like it's falling off the earth. The underwater waterfall is actually a runoff of sand deposits slipping into the ocean. Because of how clear the water is here, you'll be able to see a long way down from the top of the slope, where a rough 12,000 foot or 3,658 meter drop leads from the shelf of the island into a great abyss. And the sand flowing into it makes the abyss appear as though it's an otherworldly waterfall flowing into the great beyond. It's definitely more of an optical illusion than an actual underwater waterfall, but it's still extremely dangerous. The water is more shallow above the abyss, but one wrong move could send you splashing into the danger zone. If you're not a strong swimmer, you may end up flowing with the sand down into a watery grave. Hey, real quick, if you're new to the channel, welcome. Give this video a like and hit that subscribe button for more videos like these. Number 7. The death cap mushroom. The death cap mushroom is the deadliest mushroom in the entire world. It has been reported that the death cap mushroom kills and poisons more people each and every year than any other known mushroom on Earth. The scientific name for this mushroom is Amanita phalloides, but death cap honestly makes more sense. This is because those who accidentally eat a death cap mushroom often die. It's not a fast or pleasant death either. Symptoms don't begin for between 6 and 24 hours. Then comes the abdominal cramps, the puking, and the painful diarrhea. At first, someone sickened by death cap mushrooms might just think they have the stomach flu. Because of this, they might not seek treatment. But sure enough, the poison from the mushroom makes itself known eventually. The poison will destroy a person's liver. It binds to the enzyme that is responsible for creating new proteins, and this means that cells won't be able to function. Your liver will quickly fail, and without immediate treatment, your other organs will follow. You'll then slip into a coma and die. It also doesn't take much to kill you. Just a few mouthfuls are enough to do the job. What's even scarier is that according to many people who have been poisoned and survived, the death cap mushroom is extremely delicious. And be prepared to be even more frightened. The death cap mushroom originally came to North America from Europe, but is now present on every continent, except of course for Antarctica. Next time you're mushroom picking, you better be extremely careful. Number 6, Snake Island. Snakes are some of the most horrifying things found anywhere in nature. Specifically, the venomous pit viper is one of the all-time most fearsome serpents slithering around the world. I don't know what nature was thinking when she decided to create Snake Island, a small piece of land about 93 miles or 150 kilometers from the coast of Brazil, completely filled with venomous vipers. The island is untouched by human hands, without a single building on it. According to Atlas Obscura, there are at least 1 to 5 snakes per 10 square feet, or 3 meters. This is literally terrifying, as you basically can't walk more than a few feet without stepping on a unique species of pit viper known as the golden lancehead. It's been reported that these snakes are responsible for at least 90% of snake-related fatalities in Brazil. They aren't only wildly dangerous, with venom that acts fast to melt the flesh right off your bone, but they also grow to be about 1.5 feet or 0.4 meters in length. The island is crawling with them. But why are they there? That is the big question. The truth is that they like the island because it's a migratory stopping point for seabirds. These snakes evolved to kill the seabirds that land in the trees on the island before they can fly away. This is why their venom acts so quickly. Number 5, the manchineel tree. The manchineel tree is the deadliest and most dangerous tree in the world. The tree has horrifying fruit known locally as poison guava. The trees grow naturally throughout the Caribbean and parts of Central and South America, and in Spanish they are known as Árbol de la Muerte, which translates literally to Tree of Death. According to the Florida Institute of Food and Agricultural Sciences, every single part of this tree is deadly poisonous. It's not only dangerous to eat the fruit, which can burn your throat in a rather unpleasant way and poison you, but it's also dangerous to get anywhere near the tree. Let me tell you why. This tree produces a milky sap, just like any other tree. The only difference is that if you touch it, it will burn your skin. Just placing your hand on the manchineel tree will cause your flesh to erupt with blisters and sores. This thing is not messing around. And even more horrifying is the fact that if you stand under the canopy of the tree while it's raining, the diluted sap will come down in the raindrops and burn your skin as though you were standing under an acid rain cloud. Then there is the burning of the manchineel tree. If for some crazy reason you decided to use some of this wood in your fireplace, the fumes would cause your eyes to become inflamed and could even blind you. And if you were silly enough to inhale it, you don't even want to imagine what would happen to the inside of your body. Number 4, shipworm trees and scary clams. Today we're looking at the most dangerous things in nature, and a strange invertebrate known as a shipworm is first on the list. The shipworm isn't actually a worm, even though it resembles the slimy little creatures. It's a clam, only it has a skinny tube of flesh growing out of its casing that can grow up to 2 feet or 0.6 meters in length. What makes shipworms so strange is that they burrow deep into wood. This is bizarre for a number of reasons. First off, shipworms have somehow evolved to rely on wood from the land. Swarms of them are often found buried deep into ship hulls, broken piers, or even wooden dikes. There have been shipworm infestations all throughout history, from the 1700s when shipworms destroyed over 30 miles or 48 kilometers of dikes in the Netherlands, and even in the 1900s when a shipworm infestation caused billions of dollars in damage in San Francisco Bay by destroying the docks. These worms burrow into the wood and slowly eat it away, potentially putting any wooden thing in the water around them in danger. According to science, shipworms are likely involved in areas thick with mangrove trees. Mangrove trees are some of the only types of trees able to grow in salt water, and it could be that the clams evolved by eating the wood of the mangrove tree, but soon found themselves feasting on ships and other man-made structures. Number 3. The Naruto whirlpools. Most people probably haven't seen a real whirlpool before, and who could blame them? This natural phenomenon is not something that can be viewed from just any beach around the world. They are extremely special forces of nature that can be highly dangerous, and one of the most dangerous and most stunning whirlpools in the world is actually located in Japan. It's known as the Naruto whirlpool, and no, it has no relation to the famous anime character. It's located in the Naruto Strait, and is created by massive volumes of water that shift between the Pacific Ocean and the Inland Sea. With the changing of the tides combined with the strange underwater geography of the strait, the whirlpool is born. And if you were sucked into it, you would surely drown in a maelstrom of horror. The Naruto whirlpool occurs every 6 hours with the shifting of the tides. What's really fascinating about this natural danger is that you can actually see it anytime you want. It's visible once in the morning and in the afternoon for about 2 hours. The whirlpool often varies in size depending on how intense the tides are that particular day. On average, you can expect the whirlpool to be roughly 60 feet or 18 meters in diameter. If you were to fall into it, there would be no getting out. Number 2. Land of the man-eaters. The most powerful natural predator on Earth right now is undoubtedly the tiger. It's an apex predator that has evolved through millions of years to become a nearly indestructible force of nature. And depending on where you live in the world, tigers are still things to be feared. Specifically, the Bengal tigers that live in the biggest mangrove forest on Earth, which straddles the border between Bangladesh and India. This area is known as the Sundarbans, and according to the BBC, it is home to about 60 tiger attacks per year, with only about half of the people surviving to tell their story. While we might enjoy looking at tigers from the other side of the glass at our local zoo, the people who live on the northern shore of the Bay of Bengal literally live in fear of their lives every single day, as these tigers stalk, hunt, and kill fishermen, small children, and women with absolutely no discretion. It's true that there are natural wonders on Earth that are terrifying and dangerous, from lightning storms to rioting volcanoes. But there's just something about a fully grown tiger going on a mad rampage in a small village and tearing people apart with its claws and teeth that is inherently frightening. If you don't want to be eaten by a tiger, I suggest you stay away from the Sundarbans. Number 1. The volcano storm. There are 2 very dangerous natural occurrences on our planet. And yes, there are also dangerous trees, animals, and plants. The world can definitely be a scary place. But when you put together a lightning storm and a volcanic eruption, you have the most devastating force of nature ever. This exact thing happened during an eruption in Chile, when the Calbuco volcano erupted and merged with a lightning storm. It just so happened that a photographer named Francisco Negroni had been there at the exact right moment to capture the image of the lightning spiraling around the ash and fire as it was spat from the mouth of the volcano. The photo was titled "The Perfect Fear." If you're wondering how this happened, it was actually a combination of different elements. When the internal forces of the volcano collided with the outside world, it was a positive and negative charge colliding, almost like what happens to create a static electric charge. This resulted in a sudden burst of lightning. Just imagine being anywhere near such a violent storm. You would choke on the smoke, be burned by the lava, and electrocuted by the lightning. This is definitely the most frightening expression of nature that has ever happened. Thanks for watching. Which one of these dangerous natural occurrences scare you the most? Let me know in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you next time.